Your phone is in your pocket right now, or in your hand at this exact moment. You have made calls today without thinking about it. Picked it up, dialed, heard a voice from somewhere else in the world. That ability has a patent number. U.S. Patent ET-SIG, filed February 14th, 1876. The man who received that patent became one of the most celebrated inventors in American history. The man who actually built the telephone first died in poverty because he could not afford the $10 fee to renew his own claim. His name was Antonio Meucci, and almost nobody knows it. Staten Island, New York, 1860. A small, cluttered workshop smells of copper wire and candle smoke. Antonio Meucci, Italian immigrant, former theater technician, 52 years old, is bent over a desk covered in drawings and wire. His wife, Esther, is in the next room, bedridden with severe arthritis. He has been trying for years to build a device that carries voice through wire so she can call him from her room without struggling to move. This is not ambition. This is love, and it works. In his own home, between two rooms, Antonio Meucci transmits the human voice through a copper wire for the first time in recorded history. Meucci called his device the teletrafono. By 1871, he had been developing voice transmission technology for over a decade. He filed a patent, U.S. caveat No. 3335, on December 28, 1871. A caveat was a formal legal notice declaring an invention in progress. It cost him $10 to file. It required $10 every year to renew. By 1874, Meucci could not afford the renewal. He was working factory jobs. Esther was still ill. He sent his working models and technical documents to Western Union, America's most powerful communications company, hoping for investment. Western Union said they would review them. They never responded. When Meucci asked for his documents back, they told him the documents were lost. Alexander Graham Bell was a young Scottish-American scientist working at the same Boston laboratory where Meucci's documents had been sent. On February 14, 1876, the exact day Meucci's caveat had long expired, Bell filed U.S. Patent 174,465 for the telephone. The similarity between Bell's patent and Meucci's earlier caveat was documented and specific. Meucci sued immediately. The case moved through courts for years. Federal investigators found evidence of fraud documented in court records. The U.S. Attorney General at the time stated publicly that Bell's patent would be overturned. Then, in 1889, before the case reached its conclusion, Antonio Meucci died. Under American law, the case died with him. Bell kept the patent. Western Union kept their silence. The theft was complete. Meucci died on October 18, 1889. He was 81 years old. He died in Staten Island, the same place where he had first transmitted a human voice through wire nearly 30 years earlier. He died without money, without recognition, without justice. Esther, the woman he had built the device for, had died the year before him. Bell went on to found what became a TNT, one of the most powerful corporations in American history. He received honorary degrees, international medals, and a state funeral when he died in 1922. Flags across Canada were lowered. telephone lines across North America went silent for 1 minute in his honor. They went silent, using a technology Antonio Meucci had built and could not afford to protect. On June 11, 2002, 113 years after Meucci's death, the United States Congress passed Resolution 269. It formally recognized Antonio Meucci as the inventor of the telephone. The resolution cited his 1871 caveat, his working models, and the documented evidence of fraud. It was a congressional resolution, not a law. It carried no financial compensation, no reparation to his family, no correction in most school textbooks. Alexander Graham Bell's name remains on the patent. AT&T, the corporation built on Meucci's invention, has never issued a formal acknowledgement. The correction exists in a government document most people will never read. This was not an accident. Hedy Lamarr's patent expired unprotected. Tesla's royalties were manipulated away. Meucci could not afford $10. The method changes. The result does not. Somewhere right now, someone is picking up a phone, hearing a voice from across the world, with no idea that an Italian immigrant built that moment in a small Staten Island workshop for a woman who could not get out of bed. His name was Antonio Meucci. Now you know it for the right reason. If this channel disappears, these stories disappear with it. Some things have already been forgotten once. They should not have to be forgotten twice.